Now we can get back into some type of messages. The song is from, is her name Leela? Layla? Flyer Than You. And the part that keeps chiming in is like, I can't change nobody. I choose love and, basically myself. So it's just like basically choosing to love yourself regardless. But it's like the only thing you can ever be is flyer than you. So you can be flyer than what it was yesterday. So with the same situation, baby, like this thing is tea. If only if it was like human, it would hit different. But also happy Halloween to some of those who have this fancy thing about Halloween as well. I'm picking up on a person in the energy where it's like, damn, like why they didn't see something in a particular way. Like why they didn't see something in a particular way before. Also, there's another person like, is this a polyamorous type of situation? Because if it is, like, why would someone keep like, it's like an energy where these are people in some type of energy where it's like, well, why are you over here? But it's like, I don't know. Whatever energy that is, like y'all just make sure, if you're a person that you're not in that type of situation, like for me, I don't have no problems or nothing like that because it's like I'm not in no relationship, I'm not tied to anybody. Like the most peace you can have is be it by yourself. So I know that this is more like external energy. So someone just be very mindful about what's your energy and what's not yours. Because in this situation, these are people that like to impede, like they have zero boundaries. If you were to talk to these people, clearly it will really give you like it'll be a conversation where if you pay attention to what they're asking you or what they're talking about, they will literally be wanting to look for ways to cross your boundaries. These are people with no boundaries for themselves, so they don't have boundaries for others. Clearly. Also, it's like still like get somebody you have like a lot of people from a past situation that are still in your energy. Also, if you're still dealing with like cases where people don't want you to be aware, be mindful of the energy. Like if you're doing like channeling things, someone, okay, well, it's damn, that's a lot of people that they're cloaking themselves in order for you to not figure out what it is that they got going on. So there is I'm getting more like governmental, then you got a higher font person. So these higher font people are usually people either spiritual community people. This is also masculine energy. So these are people that would practice the arts, is the best way I could say. It don't matter what it is. It could be Yoruba, Santeria, Ifa. This can be, voodoo, hoodoo. Like there's levels to different type of stuff because, you got white people that do it, you got black people that do it, you got a lot of different type of people that do it. Right now, it's literally for me with me mentioning that it's someone that could be upset. Somebody's last name is Luciano, Lucero, Cochillo. Somebody likes to cut things. Or did somebody have a old trauma or a wound where they like to cut up people? Is somebody is a cutter? That's also a trauma wound. Also, I'm getting someone could. Oh wow, ain't nothing that bad in life for you to go on heroin. Someone that watches me, they're on heroin. They sneakily do it. This is like a person that won't put track marks on their arm. They'll probably inject it in a vein in like, I'm getting like, if this is a man and they work out, they know how to find the veins where they put their boxers on at. That's crucial. Or they'll find a vein in like their foot or something like that. Like somebody likes to hide their track marks. Also, there's a paralegal or an attorney that just got found out, or they'll be found out tomorrow. I'm hearing like Tuesday or Friday about a participation in a situation that they were supposed to handle and they didn't. There's a judge and they looked into this, and whatever it is, that if this is a judge, they looked into a situation and they watched for themselves. What they're discovering is either there's like 7 people in the judicial system, not law enforcement, judicial. And there's 7 of them, 7 to 11 people that are just getting looked at, and they don't realize that they're getting looked into way deeper than what they are fully aware of. Because I mean, like, shit, we can give you a courtesy all day, but even with the courtesy, it don't mean that it stops anything from what you could perceive because you got the courtesy. These are people that feel that when they get the courtesy, that it don't mean that the eyes is on them. Welcome. But also, this is like someone needs to be fully aware. Just because like they felt like they got the courtesy, no one was gonna watch them, and they watched them so fucking close to a point where they're realizing, on top of this, something that they could have did maybe anywhere between 7 to 11 years ago, it's coming back, or it is capable of being discovered, or they covered a case or covered something for another person in this judicial system, not law enforcement, it's judicial. They covered for someone, and it's like who they're doing this for and what they're doing towards a person that clearly is like, look, it is what it is. They are who they are. This is a real thing. It's not something that we are able to dismiss or discard at this time, because the more we discard, the more this person is going to be allowed to reveal way much more. Because this is like, say for instance, how I said, like right now, they will prove my point. If they were to shut down my YouTube, it would literally prove that government, federal, state, people from the counties in the countries and places that I mentioned have all been involved in doing some illegal, illegal hacking, stalking, also hiding information and stuff like that. So if my YouTube gets shut down, or my TikTok, all the issues that are still occurring that there shouldn't be occurrence, it's still proving it. So on top of what this is, they know for a fact them making a particular move also reveal way much more that they did. Somebody did something in 1990, or for someone that's born in 1990. And what they did for this person, it will literally, and when I say literally, open up a Pandora's box on something way bigger than what they are even capable of even trying to do public relations, looking to clean up anything. It would literally look like, hold up, who y'all over here killing people now? Like, it would literally give police officers a bad rep. It would literally give like, say for instance, if there were some people right now doing time for certain cases, like say somebody who got locked up for domestic violence, for some drugs, abuse, with kids, something with certain things, it would literally release up to 61 people. And out of the 61 people that they would end up releasing, those people will be able to come back on top of whatever this is. And it would literally be where I had said, like maybe about 6 months ago, someone is playing a very dangerous game to a point that they're sitting there writing checks that they would not ever be able to cash. Meaning they do not even have the assets, they don't have the liquidity, they do not have the company, they don't have the money, not even their position or career will have enough money to cover back the expenses or the money that they would not only have to pay, what it is that I'm talking about, but all of those people that that they would have to release. It's not a if. They would have no choice. Just they have to release them. Also, on top of releasing them, that would jeopardize even more information on top of that. So someone knows for a fact, like instead of like the best thing they could have did, and it's like a person don't even have grounds to even do a gag order. If they wanted to do a gag order, forget it, because it's like the amount of damage for these people. So say for instance you get arrested, you go to jail and stuff like that. That's personal injury on top of, unlawful arrest, on top of, you serve a time that you shouldn't have served, on top of whatever they have to pay for your medical expenses, on top of whatever, like say God forbid you get sick, you get hurt, you get harmed. Like it's like that case alone for somebody, say if you have to sue these people, that case alone will be over 160 million. Now, with the people who got involved, and most people are not fully aware, after you sue those people, you are capable of going back and suing the individuals. So for whatever amount it was that it was already getting from that settlement, you can go back and sue those people as individuals. So not only do they lose their job, shit, you can sue their ass on top of that, because they were the main people who had hands on, and then all parties. Like it's something like on top of this situation, someone is fully aware that them doing this is also sex crimes. Because when you paying another person to give a person a disease, that's a sex crime. So now when you enter those type of crimes, baby, ain't no statute of limitation for that, for one. Two, if it's something severely that you're not capable of getting rid of, those people can serve like anywhere from 25 years to life. Because that's like intentionally causing like a death thing. Because if you got already a bad immune system, if you are easily susceptible getting sick with certain things, and these people did that, that's like an intent to kill you. So that is like a premeditated murder. Excuse me. So most people, are not fully aware that that's what is more than capable of happening. Also, for another person, you have, I know for me that it's about looks. It's like, how dare you, be intelligent? How dare you look smart, and pretty and look like that? And so, like, somebody's weird. There's an attorney that's literally thinking like that. Like it's a male attorney looking at a female, or a female looking at a man. Like if this is a female looking at a male, this female feels like maybe, if you're a man and you're like younger, or it's something about your looks, or something about like how you move or how you do certain things. This female judge or attorney, she feels some type of way. For me, low key is really giving a vibe that this person is like really insecure, or it's like this person could have been born like anywhere between the 1940s or 1970s, where, coming out as a lesbian and stuff like that is not, acceptable for them to come out at this time and age. And it's like they want to still hide it, but it's like they desire, like, well, I couldn't be a man. But it's like if they did that, then like this is like a person that could be like a conservative or something like that. It's always a fucking conservative. It's always a conservative fucking person. They be the biggest motherfucking people portraying that they want certain things to go up. They don't like gays, or they don't like these type of things, and they be the main ones doing this shit. They be the main ones. Somebody could be a fucking, like, nothing against Democrats, but it's funny. The funniest thing that I've always noticed about people that choose, and I'm not a person, I do not like politics. I do not. But the fact that I have to address it is because these people are heavily in my energy. But the craziest thing about Democrats to me personally, they're fucking hypocrites. They are fucking hypocrites. I swear to God. And then the things that I don't like about certain, not all, but certain Republicans, like, a Republican, they're gonna be straight to the point. This is just what it is. Like, if you want, like, it's just right is right, wrong is wrong, but also at the same time, it's pretty fucked up. Like, shit, I get it. If you want to stay broke, stay broke. However, you're not gonna be capable of making money, unless you're willing to give up that money type thing. But also on top of that, when you're making those decisions to do proper investments, to like invest in yourself, to figure out a way to get out of it, yeah, certain things should not be taxes, but it's not like basically making the rich richer and the poor poorer. More often than not, it's the mindset and then people doing certain things that's going to make you portray to be in a poor state. Like, but also at the same time, more often than not, you get some Republicans because they like to gatekeep. A lot of them do like to gatekeep. Republicans do like to, gatekeep certain information that is a useful resource. Like if you give not choosing to gatekeep with certain things, that shit would actually push the agenda a little bit more. Then you get the people that are liberals, which they look at liberals as more like, okay, it could be a flip of a coin, just depending on how good you can make it sound. But it's like, when it comes to them, it's just like, oh, it's a protest, or it's like more or less they do extra shit that ain't no, ain't really necessary. Honestly, if you ask me, it's like not necessary, but it's like when you ride that fence, that's when you get into the issue. Because they want to be like, liberals are like the gray era. Like, I can see what you're saying as a Democrat. I can also see what you're saying as the Republican. Like, okay, it's like I don't want to be too far left, but I don't want to be too far right. But still, it's like right is right, wrong is wrong. But still, a liberal don't even bring no real true balance to the situation. Because more often than not, you'll see more liberals be more, towards a Republican, or they'll go towards more the party who got the most votes. That shit right there be so fucking annoying. That's why I don't really like care to pay attention to it. Like if I catch glimpses of it, you can tell more or less who's going to be runner up, regardless of what it is of, public vote. Public vote don't really mean shit, but it is like, more or less who's going to be more appealing to the masses. Like it's no different. Also, it's like, let's pull this out because I want to get into more depth of who these people are, because it seems like um, we have more people in career spaces that I don't know why you are here. Well, I do have an idea. So we got people from the music industry. Okay. Somebody is a choreographer from out of Atlanta, Georgia, that's currently watching. Also, we have the honorable, Beyonce. That's beautiful. But it's like the curiosity about on a level of there is a person that is looking into the situation. They don't like spirituality because how much information it reveals. But it's also looking to formulate, like that you're not going to be able to formulate it until you actually create that position for a person to be there that knows how to do that sufficiently. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like looking for the best scholar. Like if they're gonna go to Berkeley, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, they're gonna go to LSU. What's another one? Utah is another one. Montana is another college. Massachusetts is another major one. Maine is another major one. Massachusetts is the breeding ground for all this type of things where it's actually looked into. California is where it's heavily practiced, but more or less where you get the astute information is in Massachusetts when it comes to tarot, spirituality, and things like that. But also when you start to look into the orishas of things for the people of the diaspora or African descent, you'll hear about it, but a lot of people will want to make it seem or perceived to be taboo. So clearly this means this is a person of a different nationality that is basically seeing it as like it's treacherous, but also how could it be welcome? Also, they're saying like it's treacherous due to the simple fact of the participation and the crime level that this person has done or participated in against a few people. This person has done this up to twice from an individual, but also this is a person that has done this up to 15 times or up to 15 people. So this person could be of a different nationality, of a different race, but it's also like this person could be feeling some type of way. Beyonce, I don't know what you got going on, but baby, act on it. Okay, maybe you're her team, you're a part of her team or something like that. Okay, also this is somebody of this celebrity status, like I said. Um, this is a person also that could have dug back into their archives and they're realizing somebody, confirmation, somebody that they're watching currently as I speak. Because I want to say, I remember before Beyonce was Beyonce, and when they first came out as Destiny Child, there are certain rituals that they used to do back in the 90s. I was there for it. But also, like Steve Jobs, he was more of the mastermind of creating certain things, or the choreographer, or it could be the choreographer of Beyonce, or somebody who was the person over her brand that is looking into something. Somebody's name could be Adams or Smith, Billingers, Stevenson, Markles. Okay, this is on a high level. This is not like somebody you might feel like. For me, I don't ever downgrade myself to feel like there's no such thing as celebrities watching you. Yeah, the fuck it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is even going as far. Anybody that don't know much about Calvin Klein, of course, you know he lived the lifestyle, but also the creation of how he came in. So that means there are people in the modeling industry. Somebody is literally looking on a high level about how could how could we not overlook, but look at this going into a private sector, which that's not a bad idea. Take risk and have a press statement ready. So someone have a statement ready. Someone is seen as a visionary. Public image is your private property. A brand deal. Somebody want to offer a brand deal. Somebody is a flower child. Flower child. Somebody is aware, but they not like somebody. Okay, you got up to 3 major people, even on a political stance, on a very political, for somebody on a foreign, like international. Somebody you're international at this point, and reason being because these people need to know. Like it's like somebody's mind or the way that you're thinking is on a level that it could literally help different continents. Somebody sees that. It's not even, I'm hearing it's not even potential at this point. It's seen. It's the vision. It's like, damn, but they're getting a vision, but also they want to, someone could be fully aware where they're looking into you. This, I'm telling you, the president has people that do astrology and seers that do this shit. Every country has people that the stuff that I do, every country and political person has a person that do what I do. When they need to know and they're not fully, aware of those things, of course, we got machineries and things like that. However, it's not going to ever trump outside, and yeah, Trump too, but it doesn't trump those things of being able to see a very big level. There's a prophecy that has been passed, and on the Pentagon, like I say right now, I'm in the United States. There's something going on that I've already spoke on in very key details that right now, America, even the president can sit here and be like, hold up, how do you know that? It's classified information. However, them doing particular things will literally put certain things in jeopardy. That's why it's more or less what it is. Let me say it like that. It's going to be just like that for the time being. But I mean, sitting down procrastinating, but also someone is currently taking down a Ponzi. Also, I'm going to tell someone, whoever's watching me, yeah, I do have a mastermind and a master plan, but however, what we doing now? Because sitting here playing this, I got other shit to go ahead and air out about these other fucking people that doing some illegal shit, but also at the same time, I'm confident enough and I'm prayerful enough that the compensation or whatever the fuck y'all about to do is going to outweigh the bullshit that they pull. But also, it's going to still prove the point of the prophecy. They over here writing some fucking checks and doing some shit that they ain't gonna be able to fucking cash, let alone be able to fucking afford. Because somebody also is showing their colorism or racism. Somebody made a move. Shit, I feel like Cher Wayne around this motherfucker. I really don't care for the spotlight. I'd rather be in the background going ahead and making moves. Because all this other shit, like, you know, everybody want to be on YouTube. Everybody wants to be seen. Like, I don't mind it, like, you know, popping out every now and again. Sometimes you don't want to have the energy to deal with this shit. But, you know, when you call to make the message, you call to make the message. You get what I'm saying? But in this type of situation, what it says, compete in the market, not in the spotlight. Do you hear me? Shit, get in your bag. Cause all this shit is like not even fucking necessary. These are other people that want the attention, that want people to be in their face. Like, shit, no, I do this because at the same fucking time, thank you. I'm glad that you caught my attention. I apologize if I ignored you all. Like, it's about, to me, it's like career and things like that. I would rather be focused on that than the word about all this other, you know, stupid shit. Unless it's something that we need to figure out and it's fucking up the money for the country or for, you know, other places. Yeah, that's some levels where you come out here and this is when you call the ass out. Now it's necessary. In this situation, I felt that it's necessary, but also at the same time, I know for a fact my life story and my experiences, rather, and I say it time and time again, long as it help one person and it saves at least one fucking person's life for them to know, like, hey, it's certain things that is not worth you being out here on all this other crazy shit, and then that life is gonna be lifing. Shit happens. Like, motherfucker, I should be like every day when I come on here, motherfucker, I should be like breaking down crying. But no, motherfucker, shit, you more likely now where I am, which I'm so grateful that I got to this point. Now there's a possibility I'm gonna talk some real ass shit, but at the same time, I might make your ass fucking crack up laughing where your face and your fucking abs and you don't even realize you got abs. Even a big bitch will feel like they got six packs in this bitch. You gonna realize at the same time, I ain't tell you no lie. I'll tell you a joke. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. However, I'm gonna give you the facts. But also on top of that, we're gonna point out at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be what it is. I said what the fuck I said. Okay, motherfucker, it ain't one person that came over here yet that they faithfully be coming to this motherfucker just to know, like, okay, is she gonna get pissed off? Is somebody gonna try her? Like, some people come over here lately just to see if somebody gonna come try me and seeing if they gonna be the butt of the goddamn joke. And then they, you know, I'm gonna be so fucking for real and so serious about this shit. But at the same time, oh, you gonna get ate the fuck up. Okay, we gonna stand on big business, but also at the same time, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Cause I'm gonna eat your ass up. Okay? We gonna turn into the Teletubbies. I know, right? What? I was looking guts. Slated to the gods. But baby, listen, this wasn't the hair that I needed, but it's working for the time being. It's more like, I think they said it was like for a cosplay or some shit like that. Somebody watches me, like whoever watches me, like literally, they come over here just to give the fucking evil eye every fucking time. And it's like, ain't shit that fucking miserable in life. I'm not for to hate on the next man, the next woman. If anything, motherfucker, do you want me to be Tickle Me Elmo? Do you want me to help you with a butt plug? Do you want me to help you go ahead and teach you how to do Kegels? Do you not know how to sleep at night? Do you want me to rub you night, little motherfucker? Do you want me to rub you night? Motherfucker, we got visionaries out here, okay? We got motherfuckers out here seeing that, hey, we have a dream, we see a visual. I ain't Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King, Coretta probably knocked his ass off and found out that he was with a white woman, you know what I'm saying, during segregation. That's probably what the fuck it was. But hey, that's neither here nor there. She got the life insurance policy, and MLK is good on every fucking boulevard, okay? Somebody was like, Sharita, why do you, I mean, somebody gotta say something. Somebody be like, is there not anything, like, are we supposed to, this is Walt Disney, motherfucker, okay? It's Walt Disney, okay? Welcome to Disney. He was the pervert, and we still watch Disney, okay? So why the fuck you gotta come bother me when I crack a joke about other colors and the racism and shit? Cause y'all motherfuckers be walking around here. It'll be a motherfucker quick to come over here in my motherfucking face. Bitch, do you want to say nigga? You want to say it? Say it. Okay, you got the freedom right here in my world. You allowed to say that word. Like, I've been dying to say that word for a long time because it sounds so cool. You know what? You want to sing a song? I might even put on a fucking song so your ass can sing the shit. Okay, just so you can feel good. You said on every book, I swear to God, Coretta is sitting there living, all them the fucking kings and all that shit. They living real good. Coretta knocked Martin Luther King off because she found out the mistress was a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be some shit like that. Like, I'm good on any MK Boulevard. It is. Child, if you don't find you something better to do, we got Emma Goldman, okay? So it's like capital. Okay, so we got capitalists. Okay, America's built on capitalism. Big whoop-de-doo. So you got capitalism, you got nationalism, you got fascists, you got a lot of different things. So it requires like a lot of things where people play like even on the spiritual level. That's why I tell people when it comes to spirituality, it's certain people that ain't got no business fuck with it. If you're not gonna be willing to sit there and see it on a full spectrum, like I'm not gonna sit there like you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I got triggered when I sat there and I heard her say like, "Oh, this is a person that let the person take the kids." I want to say it was all AEL or whatever. I can't all eternal love. Like I know she probably didn't mean no harm or whatever, but it's like when you're not able to like see a full spectrum of all situations. There's going to be people that's going to come to you that are going to be capitalists, okay? There's going to be people that's going to come to you as nationalists. There's going to be people that's going to come to you that is far left, far right, whatever, right? So what is it going to require for you to understand when it comes to this, even on a spiritual level, whether you're giving them guidance, you just got to accept people as they are, but also at the same time, the perspective and in-depth of you getting the concept, long as it's not causing harm to a masses. Or if it's not, you know what I'm saying? You got to know the balance of when it's a necessary evil and when it's not. That's why I say when it comes to this shit, it needs to be regulated because a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm on this healing journey. Okay, baby, can we give you a little bit of guide? Because they be like, there's no guidance to it. Actually, it is. It is. It's just the fact of who's abusing it. And there's a lot of people abusing the shit out. It's like for me, like people be like, are you religious? I'm spiritual before I'm religious. You got a lot more people abusing the religious aspect to hide and confine themselves outside of how they're abusing the spiritual aspect on a lot of fucking people. Like if I tell you right now, if you was to go to a church house and you smell pine sol, baby, that was a ritual the night before to draw you into that church. If you ever see this little blue little thing in there where they put it in the water to clean the floor, that's a ritual to keep bringing people in to the place, baby. Those are rituals. Those is rituals, honey. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, also, if I was to sit there and talk to some people and some people were like, you're losing us, it ain't losing nothing. I'm not losing. The only thing that I'm doing is speaking the truth, and a lot of fucking people will get mad. What country do you know in the world has literally deemed not homosexuality, but transsexuals as a mental illness? Because it is. It's part of body dysmorphia. When my brain feels that I'm a woman, but my body is not. That is body dysmorphia. So once you get ready to do that, that's in any psychological book, anything like that. It's nothing against it. You choosing to do it, that's fine. However, be fully aware that it's a dysmorphia and it's a mental illness. But also at the same time, if you were brought up in a home that always preached church and you struggle to come out that you like to sleep with the same types, but more often than not, if you really paid attention, a lot of them will still, like these men will cut off their shit and still sleep with women. A lot of them will like go through with all the like the surgery. Some of them will still keep their manhood, but they'll be with women. It's a dysmorphia. Why? Because on a higher level, let me break it down to you. The church has a fucking obligation to teach you what it is, to let you know about your masculine and your feminine energy. Their church religious aspect was actually put in place to teach you about how you end up getting imbalance and how you end up co-creating with certain people, bloodlines or generational things where, say, guess what? You came out of slavery. If you part of this, the African descent, the diaspora, or you came from Ireland, Dublin, if you were Dutch, if you were what else? Not Swedish. If you came from Austria, if you were not German, Belgium, y'all were part of slavery. So guess what? When y'all were part of slavery, or the Viking people, because they end up using them, the Vikings were the most strongest people. The Romans had an obligation. They fucked that shit up. Why else do you think they get to keep certain scripts? So the church was responsible for teaching people when that shit would happen. That's why when you see in these royalty little movies or shows, and I can't fan to watch that shit, it's because they was trying to beat the gay out of them, but also at the same time, what they were failing to conceal was the princes and kings and stuff like that would sleep with these men were sexualized as children. Because they had certain people on the church boards or in their groups that were sitting there part of the royalty that at once upon a time, it was okay for pedophilia. So when y'all want to sit here and preach royal bloodlines, are you sure you want to be part of royal bloodlines? Do you know what comes along with that? That shit runs so deep. This is why we're dealing with this shit right now. So that's why when it'll be like, ooh, I became a man and these women are da-da-da-da. Don't you ever fit yourself to ever come to me like that, because as a grown-ass woman that birthed fucking kids and I got to bleed once a month, don't you ever fucking try that shit. I will kill down your soul, down to everybody that ever fucking procreated, and you will sit there and think you should have got spit out. And it's due to the simple fact because your family should have sat there and cleared that stuff. What goes on in this house stays in this house, and it shouldn't have never been nothing like that. Those people that was there, they should have been removed. That's why Louisiana has set the motion where a lot of people, Louisiana get a lot of flack for certain shit. But one thing Louisiana did do, that anything that when it comes to it, you end up touching on a fucking kid or you end up doing some type of rape, it doesn't matter if it's a grown person or not. They castrate you. I wish they would have allowed them to move that shit years ago. I guarantee you would have eliminated a lot of shit where people would have been like, oh, okay. Get that shit in order. But it's like, it's okay to express yourself. That's why you have, RuPaul was with women before he even started being with a man. A lot of people don't know that. RuPaul was with women before he was with men. But you didn't ever see him take off the fucking fact like, I'm going to go do it. Like, no, they got little costumes and stuff like that where you can sit there and do that. Playing all the makeup in the world that you want to. You can go ahead and put all the, clothing on just to feel it, whatever the case may be. However, the moment that you start deconstructing, your body is your temple. Your body is your temple. Now, getting it fixed up, that's one thing. But taking away or taking off, now you creating a whole different dynamic. Because the key question is, were you happy prior to what you were doing? More often than not, it's no. So now you get a lot of depressed people that are now battling to want to stay the prettiest, that want to stay to be this type of person or that type of person, but also now I'm going to take it as a threat, as a competition with somebody else come in, like instead of them acknowledging, oh, he's handsome. Damn, he look hot as fuck. No homo, pause. Or what I'm saying, damn, she beautiful as fuck. A lot of people are not capable of doing that because what? The dysmorphia, the mental, right? Then also the preconnotation of I can do this ritual to make you perceive to gain weight. I could do this to make you think in this way. Shit, God created me to be listen, and I didn't ask for the thyroid issue, but thyroid will have your weight going up. It'll have you go down. I just so happen to have the hypo, not the hyper. Hyper will cause you to lose more of the weight than gaining the weight. So when you get into those type of situations, guess what? Either I'm going to learn to embrace. So I learned to embrace. Sometimes I'm going to look really thin. Some other times I'm going to probably look real thick. Like right now I'm looking thick, baby. Okay. But I'm happy because there's certain things that you don't have control over. Yes, because okay, let me tell you like this. So when you come together as man and woman, right? You come into a threshold. When you become a threshold, do you not know what it creates? The hermaphrodite, aka what y'all call transsexuals today, right? So basically, when you get ready to marry and intertwine with your spouse, do you not know that there's nothing off limits that you're not supposed to be able to do with a counterpart? That's why it's meant to be with a man and a woman. That's why when you sit there, you get the penetration of the phallus and the vagina and you enter it. What does it do? It calls a secure locking, right? In any type of position, you can lock and secure it, right? But also when you go ahead and think about the Noah's Ark, what was it meant to do? Procreate and create balance. So meaning even if that man has the thought like, oh, I want to do something very feminine, meaning that man has now flopped into his feminine energy, meaning he's going to struggle in his masculine energy. And as the wife or as the woman, when you're balanced, when you're an empress energy, you are a balanced woman, meaning you can compensate for his masculine energy whenever he falls into his feminine energy, which is safe because you guys are together, you're intertwined, or you make your threshold or your three, because you, him, and the spirit or the physical thing, guess what? That man has the safety, the security, the freedom to do that in his home. So once you decide to step out of that union or unity or that threshold, guess what? You're opening yourself susceptible to something that can either cause you harm, more harm than what it would cause you good. That's why on a biblical level, don't trust man, trust God, right? So regardless of what God, it didn't matter what like deities or what you called it, to make sure that you still worship that, hey, there's a higher power or a higher source that is going to be in command of this thing. Long as I have a man and a woman, your job is to keep creating the children. But in the midst of creating the children, are you teaching them the balance of masculine and feminine energy? So when it's time for them to go on to create the generations to come, they know that at any given moment, my son has a feminine quality. It will require for him to be with a woman that will have a masculine quality to her to keep his balance. So he's not going out here to look for another masculine to create an abomination, which calls what? Sterilization, which is no growth. What are you going to do? Breed a dog? The dogs are not going to do anything. The dogs is going to outlive you. So you're not leaving a true legacy for you to keep going and going and going. Now, choosing to go outside of that and it's not within a safety net or a safety type of thing, then this thing will grow so much deeper. That's why I tell people it's levels to this shit. It's levels to this shit. And then it's a lot of people that feel like nobody can tell me anything. And like, okay, sure. It's up to you whether you choose to. Because when this shift get ready to fucking change and you're sitting here thinking, why? That's my gay life. Okay, well, guess what? Anytime that you sit here and get ready to do that transgender shit, they're going to die a lot quicker than anything. Their life expectancy is not long. When the women go do this stuff to get the testosterone, her body requires for it to need what? Estrogen. It needs estrogen because your bones know it's estrogen, right? When it comes to a masculine, he can take all those things, but if too much estrogen gets into a man's body, eventually he will go through what? Organ failure. But also, when you take away and you create that change, guess what? You taking away your ability to see clearly, effectively, efficiently, longevity, and of course, you're naturally going to submit to a bias. You are no longer in the authority or be giving the authority or the energy to be able to create something better. Not a labyrinth, not a Lilith, none of that. It does, because that's why they end up with prostate cancer. More often than not, a man that ends up with prostate cancer, more often than not, if I really was to tell y'all the true stories about or the science behind it, a lot of fucking people will be like, what? Yeah. Man, y'all be thinking like, oh, because he was out there having a lot of sex. Yeah, it was a lot of sex, but also prostate cancer can be imminent because not only with the many of times of getting STDs, but also sleeping with men. It was experimented on in the 1800s. I'm not going to say the country. I'm not going to sit there because the archives is pretty like difficult to go look into that. And then a lot of it is not going to be on Google right now. Right now, Google is literally looking to make sure it's a little bit difficult for you to search on certain information. Why else do you think they're promoting, like before then, like if you wanted to use certain things, so say for instance, like right now I'm in my heaviest state. In order for me to be able to lose the weight where I need to, I would have to jumpstart my metabolism in certain parts of my system. So they're now promoting what the Ozempic and whatever this other thing. Naturally, that's not going to be effective for my body. What will be useful for me is a particular brand. They know that. So a lot of people are not really versed in how deep this is. Something happened with no, because when you have Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, or hypothyroidism, it's a little bit more difficult than just a simple fast and holy water. Because the body at that point, because when you get Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, or Addison's disease, the hormones and also your glands about certain waters that you take in, and the water is not coming from a different place. Like for me, eating like fruits that I can eat here, right? And the fruits that I would eat in Puerto Rico, completely different. The foods that I like eating, certain fish and things like that, the most healthiest ones is the ones that is actually surrounded by the actual things. So like if it's not a natural thing to be grown from there, like right now eating potatoes from here, let's see, naturally here we grow corn, potatoes, and particular herbs. If you go to Europe, particular potatoes is up there. also certain fish that you would eat is more healthier from there than what it would be from here. I stay in Florida. So any food or fish from Florida is not safe. Why? Because everyone keeps forgetting that we had that big ass oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. So that means if it's coming from the Gulf of Mexico, or is it being shipped from Maine, or is it getting, where is it coming from? And if it's not coming from those places, all of those things are going to have radioactivity in it. It's already going to have some inhalation or other things and bacteria. So naturally, when you get in some of the salmon, or they're doing farm fed, which is a GMO, because now they're causing, or like making it unnatural for the fish to overproduce when they naturally will produce on its own. You see what I'm saying? Somebody is so upset because for this side of my brain to go where it is, this is like affecting like the mathematics and quantums and things like that. Like I could get into the real depths of it. Somebody could work for MIB. Somebody could work for computers. Okay, we got Bill Gates. Now, if anybody know anything about Bill Gates, that's the GMO king. Like he want to sit there and make certain things where we can still eat, but it's like also it's like the only thing I didn't like about what he recently did was the experiment that he did with mosquitoes to see, because it's like a lot of things could be created. Okay, so right now, a lot of people don't know that you're under Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Bloomberg's theory. There was an experiment that they did in 1990 based off of, if you never heard of Ayn Rand, AYNRAND, she was a person into like quantum physics and things like that, an individualist, geometry, physics, and things like that. Like the stuff is very, 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 very deep. But yet it was a program, an intellectual program. Y'all remember when they created that computer game? That's when Apple first came out with Oregon Trail. If you did not ever, experience doing Oregon Trail, shit, they was putting that shit all throughout public schools. And it was just like to see what people's survival instincts was. Then with that, I know when I was 7th grade is when I got introduced to like the stock market, the Dow and things like that. And I remember predicting certain things about that. I did some research on Bloomberg that I got too close to some particular information that I was confronted with certain things that I shouldn't be knowing. But it's a lot of stuff that I could talk on, and it's like I'm feeling like they want me to refrain. For what? I feel like this is valuable information, but also at the same time, teach your pet project new tricks. Play the game like you invented it. If you created a monster, license it. So like, what was it? It was the DARE program, and it's another program that they had. Mind your business. Child, boo, you be talking a lot of shit from off the computer screen, and I ain't really studying you. Zaha Hadid. Oh. Sign your name on a dotted curve. The numbers must add up to the artwork. What book was it that Stephen King wrote? This shit is real prevalent right now. Oh my God, it's like right there. And it is like I see it. And it's like the words. Like it's making me upset. I'm angry. Oh, this is a political thing, I swear to God, but it's also, this can like literally indicate MIB because this is based off of the tracking system that they developed back in 93. They had it in 1983, but it's like 93 is when they was able to, let me see. So if you had this here, my tattoos kind of cover it. I have one here. I have one here. And the other one, I only have two of them. But back then, they would use the small, like they were trying to make them nano. So now that you got Neuralink, where Elon Musk took over that, which was also part of Bill Gates' company and program, but he kind of like let it go. And Elon Musk took over it around 2002. And when he took over in 2002, that's when y'all seen the upsurge between 2012, 2017 for Tesla. So, child, I say this shit. I say this shit, listen. All right, if you know anything about Nikola Tesla, right, and his theory, it was one of his theories that they end up going out. Man, we got Oprah Winfrey in this motherfucker. We got Michael Jordan, Nike. We got Bezos. Bezos took over the business model from Ingvar Kamprad. I don't know if y'all know who he is. It was a front for taking the tax money. Yes, and then no. Okay, it was not necessarily because Amazon is based off of Ingvar, INGVARKAMPRAD. Okay, look into that person. But Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, outside of Berkshire created another like 13 sub companies, but out of the 13 sub companies, there's four, but one major one. Tesla took over. When it comes to 1896 theory. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me give you the exact date. I don't want to give you a bullshit date. Hold on, because I'm we got 1856 and he died January 7th, 1943. Okay, so 1946, my bad. 43 or 46, one of the two. However, if you hadn't ever heard of Edgar Casey, right? So during that time, his death was right after the Great Depression. After the Great Depression, in between there, right? This is why I always say history tends to repeat itself. You really want to know what's going on right now? 2000, we got clearly. Whew. History repeats itself, okay? Let me just put it that way in the nicest form without it sounding so gruesome about what's to occur. Because what's about to occur, the prophecy is where people will be like, oh, you're predicting the future. And it's like, technically, but not technically. However, on another level, it's more treacherous that this type of information getting to the masses, it can cause a frenzy. Yet, it's also a formulation of, if this is part for the United States, which they could use for their benefit, or they can use it to a disadvantage. And right now, with how the stock market is moving, because when was the last government shutdown we had? That was what, 2014. 2014, 2015, right? And civilians. Who created this pet project? This is what I'm curious about. Who's the Satoshi Taraji Jahiri. Who? So we got Oprah. Oh shit. This is what I knew it. I knew I wasn't going fucking crazy. I knew it. Okay. Listen. So when it comes to Facebook, right? Sandberg. But those that could use the pet project to cover and conceal, Satoshi was over Oprah Winfrey and Michael Jordan in this situation. Michael Jordan went on ahead and got the biggest contract, 1990, between 91 and 1997. Between that time, it was a program that they were sitting there looking for some of the most geniuses people that they could find. There was up to 30, but I want to say one already passed away, so there's still 29 left from a program that they did. But these were kids that were more either orphanage, desperate, but more or less that they had more control, confirmation like a motherfucker. Either you were Cuban, Puerto Rican, Brazilian, Central American, the Gullah Geechee kids, or the Gullah Geechee Creole kids, so that means the Bayou kids and stuff like that, meaning y'all that the, what is it called? Fuck, I can't remember the program because we had it. We had it out there in Oklahoma. Like, it was on the military base, but they ran it through the military, so you were more likely like be given to people that had military ties because it was easy to conceal your energy and your identity for these people, for you to not figure out exactly what facility. And for somebody, you're under Oprah Winfrey's and Michael Jordan's program, which is one of the major things. Because if you look at how much are they worth? Well, how much is Michael Jordan worth and how much Oprah is worth? And it's part of the MK Ultra program, but also was part of the DARE program. Y'all remember the DARE program? What else was it? Because the DARE program, that's where, where now, they let the people do the weed and stuff like that now. Because now I realize it's like, damn, Method Man, he went back to smoking weed, but it's like it's helpful for him. It's for his, mental health and his physical health. Because Jill Scott, like if you think about it, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Common, he's more of a naturalist. He likes to live in a very deep holistic way. But if it was needed, he would use, the source of the cannabis and stuff like that. That's why you have like Snoop Dogg. You have these type of people, right? Where they're moving this. However, the depths and the cores of how I can tell you this shit will be real dark. And a lot of people will look at certain celebrities in a crazy ass way. But Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, the reason why he's a little bit hesitant about certain things, and I'm not going to disclose it because it is an open pending case right now, is because it runs way deeper than a lot of people are fully aware of. Tell me more, it ain't gonna be told, but it's just like, these are people that know it can take a toll on their actual career. Actually, DARE wasn't a failure. It was actually very successful. If you're still in the blind of, like right now, if you are a person that I can go ahead and look into you and I can tell that you are okay with trafficking, if you're okay with taking hard drugs, if you are okay with clinical research, if you are a person that is very super hyper codependent on certain physicians, associate groups, without doing, like, they would rather you not do full research on medical providers, because you're less likely to know when they're doing studies on you and experimenting with you with pharmaceuticals, when they can actually have control over your actual mind, whenever they can go ahead and systematically program you. A lot of people are programmed. Whether you know that you're programmed or not, you're programmed. So that'll also allow for them to get over on you intellectually, financially, job wise, level wise, status wise. That's why when I sit here and I'm talking about, when it comes to my page, them suppressing me and them, like, I know I'm not an ugly person. I know that my videos can go viral. But also at the same time, would you rather a person that is beautiful and smart and can tell you something that can actually help you to level up and not stay stuck, go viral, or the one that just looks pretty and they're gonna shut the fuck up and they really ain't talking about anything and they're not going anywhere, so they can keep you in a systematic programming level? Which one is more easier to keep control over? And then I'm sorry to say, but I can keep stupid and pretty going, but the beautiful, intelligent, and the person that knows how the program works, I'm going to keep you suppressed. So of course that means the Sharita Darshell, the Miss Panthologist to you, I'm going to keep you suppressed, because God forbid the right eyes get on you if they actually know you were part of the program. If Shatashi discover you, if God forbid Oprah or Michael Jordan looks into you, God forbid Sarah Sinbad look into you, RIP to Stephen Jobs, look into you. God forbid Michael Bloomberg decides to come up from the watcher station and be like, oh shit, here you are. Michael Bloomberg comes down like shit. You sit with fucking Michael Bloomberg, all this shit right here, motherfucker, just toss out your phone. You don't even need that shit anymore. The moment, like, I used to want to research Michael Bloomberg so bad. I'm like, this man owns half the fucking world, but how? I just want to know him. You get to this fucking level right here, a cell phone, what you need a cell phone for? What the fuck you need a cell phone for? For what? But I can systematically program you to, be stuck to it and make you my pet project. I can come down and simulate and use certain things in a particular way if I want to. I mean, like, for what? I mean, now, now the new goal to aspire to be is a trillionaire. Shit, a millionaire is nothing. So right now, a millionaire is like wiping your ass with a fucking dollar bill now. Now you got to aspire to be a multi-billionaire or a fucking trillionaire. But also I can simulate just to see how much far I control you. Okay, they're still thinking about these type of things. Why are they imposters? Let me tread real lightly on it. It's not imposters. It's about the control of the aspect of how far would you allow your mind to expand to either, are you going to allow them to feel like that they still have the control? Because usually once you start pointing out the things and you can figure out exactly how the programming is affected, you can overcome and conquer what it is that they're assuming to take. If you have watched my video, my last two videos, literally, I can tell you how they earned the money. So like I said, if you have military experience, and when you signed up and you did your original contract, did you pay attention to that? That's one way where they get the money. When you sit there and you go sign up for a job and you create a W-2, there go another formulation of money. When you go hire an attorney and you pay the retainer fee, there go another form of money. When you get ready to go into the court and you get ready to go talk to the judge, but you hired an attorney, you are now considered a dead person. That is your mouth. Did you know that? But also, who's paying for it? You're a dead person. How are you paying for something and you're dead? Because at that point, it's talking to the entity, the law firm, which is the entity. That's a broken universal law. Now, if we get on to dimensional, that's why I say it's a lot of things that goes on and happens and occurs that There's so many levels that where people get so caught up in wanting to be, worried about what somebody think about them, feel about them. That is the least of your fucking worries. Okay, wow. Okay, Rita, baby, call me throat baby. Okay, call me the throat god. I love it. Call me the anus queen. I love it. Call me the penetration queen. I love it. Everything about a give it to me. I want it. You want to go ahead and put a leash on me, baby? Go ahead. A choker on it. Okay, big whoop-de-doo, right? But once you can get over all that fucking shit about what the hell you do in your fucking bedroom, there's more levels to the shit than you worried about who the fuck I'm sleeping with, how I'm fucking them, how I do it, what I like, who I like. Though it's way bigger than things. So guess what? Systematically right now, how can I control the masses right now? A lot of people are still stuck into a trauma-based state. And in that trauma-based state, what is the biggest thing that I can trigger, especially here in the fucking America, about? Your sexual orientation or your gender specifics or your prowess. That's how I control you. That's how I make my money, because you're going to support the campaign. Oh, I want to get all the predators that touch on kids. I want to get the people that murdered those people while they were innocently sleeping. I want to hurt those doctors that's killing those babies. God forbid that you're going to get abortions. Shall we continue? Oh God, you want to let transgenders going into the bathroom with women. There go another support. Oh my gosh, you're sitting here letting the police be the new thugs. There go another support. That's where the money comes in. Long as I can keep that going, and you over here watching this, how are you going to be concerned about the Taoists? How are you going to be concerned about what programs or money that you can sit there and send over internationally, like while they're doing this and you're still working for that paycheck? Did you sit there and scour for one moment to say, hey, let me take this money, and regardless, what country will my US dollar be sufficient before the US dollar has lost its value? Because right now, the US dollar is second. That hasn't ever happened in history. Right now, as the US dollar being second place, we got a problem. But also, they have to counteract that with the treasury, right? Because if I shut down the government, the only time the government shut down is when there's a treasury issue. I'm going to put a freeze on the bank. You ever notice that when you're sitting there, you're doing debited information or credited information, right? And you sit there, you paid all your bills, you're doing your budget. And then you go back and look at your bank account and you be like, why is this saying pending? Why isn't it not telling me my exact amount? Because they did a treasury, and banks have this superficial, whether you know it is happening or not, because they changed to the electronic. As before, you remember we used to have to write the paper checks. You had to sit there and write it into checkbooks. That's why I hate the fact that they took away checkbooks, because now you're not able to go back and verify, because you're codependent on the digital footprint versus the paper footprint. So with those footprints, guess what I can do at that point? I can go ahead and pull the money that you have there, and I'm going to take this money because our bank is in 3 million in the hole. We have over 16,000 people that's in our bank right now, and their amount can equate to the 3 million that we got to do. So while their stuff is pending, we can shift that money to go ahead and pay for this treasury. Then we'll reboot, and then we're going to offer and come back and say, hey, where IRA was 4.6%, now all of a sudden it's up to 5%. Or it's going to lower the value, but you end up getting more percentage on what it is on the dollar. It's just like high levels to this type of situation. Also, someone just be mindful. You have a person that there higher up people that want to work with you because they need to know how the fuck your brain is doing that. Yes, that is a form of fraud. But however, if I don't tell you the ins and out exactly, precisely how to claim that fraud, you're going to lose that case. And with you losing that case, now you're literally overpaying over close to $150,000 that you possibly do not have, because you brought that up, and banks are now looking at those bylaws and those loopholes to come back to people to go ahead and blind you all to know, like, oh, since you did that lawsuit, we need the money back. And the fact that you already worked this type of job, I'm going to go ahead and utilize that. Not to mention, God forbid that you made a food truck or you did something like that. I can use that against you. I can use that as leverage. You created an LLC, the same thing that they chose to do. I created Rita Lotus here in Florida, and I created one in Puerto Rico, but I did not get the full information. I didn't get to make my DUNS number. I didn't get to open up an actual business account. I did not open up anything outside of already creating the LLC and be able to use it appropriately. But however, in that context, that allowed, when you open up and pay for those filing fees, which is a public record, now those businesses that you create, a person can step in and create a PPP loan in those assets and in those positions and utilize, depending on what level that you created it in, if it was in food industry, if it was fashion, e-commerce, those type of things. It's so many levels to this shit that you will sit here and be like, I didn't realize that. You do e-commerce and you do certain things with clothing. Now you're looking at, there's certain taxes that you would be able to be exempt from that a lot of people don't know. So a lot of times you're paying way much more in your business tax than what you could actually be getting back, or taking a cut on where you can break even with a profit. It is technically a broken system, yet how can I say? Right now, can I give these people free game? Let me write it down. And if I get the yes, I'm gonna tell y'all in the next video. We got I'm going to make sure before I speak on it, I don't want to give you something prior to, okay? And it's free game. Choice is yours what you choose to do. However, it'll work in your benefit, though. I don't know why I didn't do this with y'all a long time ago. Somebody's like, where are you going with this? Mind your fucking business, dick face. If you were concerned, sit here and fucking learn some shit. Don't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that shit out. Somebody, you got a person from the right now, somebody is on edge. There's a financial guru person that is literally watching me at the edge of their seat. Okay, like when I say if they could shit on themselves, they will shit on themselves right the fuck now. We got modeling industry, Smithsonian's, I'm gonna put it like this, just to be fair. It's not that it's set up for systems to scam. It's systematically set up to go ahead and create people to do it for them. And more often than not, a lot of people don't pay attention that more often than not, who are usually the closest people to go ahead and run that on you. Because most of the times, like, if I were to tell you that it would be the closest people that you probably are close to but distant from are the people who are scamming you or stealing certain things from you, whether you think it's IRS money, work money, positions and things like that. What if I was to tell you it would be the people closest to you that you would be like, how are they doing that? Because they could systematically program it in that way. So like when it comes to marriage, some people feel like marriage is a scam, or in the court of law. Whereas before, what did we used to do back in the day? Mazel tov. You throw the glass, you break the glass, you're married. African slaves, we put the broom down, you jump the broom, you're married. That's all over the diaspora. If you go to, getting commits and things like that. It's a time travel. It's a present, like, okay, say that I'm physically with you right now. I'm talking to you right now, right? And with the fact that I'm talking to you about it, technically, whether you knew it or not, I took you on a time travel. You want to know how? Well, if I sit there and I talk to you about Nikola Tesla, it will require for me to give you a rundown of what? History of Tesla, about what it is that he was created into. Off of technicality, I put you in a time travel, whether you knew it or not. So I will have to go ahead and bring you back a timeline, which you are in the present moment doing a time travel. That's why how they created that movie Back to the Future. If you go back and pay attention to that movie Back to the Future, tell me what details that you can gain from that movie in this present moment. Right now, actively with the government shutdown, what could you depict from the Great Depression to what it is right now? Or as they say, the 2008 crash of the housing, right? So right now we are looking to avoid that, but yet we have the person working in the mortgage department and they're pulling certain things, right? But also, if we start sitting there, what is a lot of people starting to mention? Hey, it's a secret society. You hear about Masons, Masons this, Masons that. But however, when did the Masonry Lodge get created? Do, 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 do. Now I'm going to have to take you on a time travel, but even on the time travel of that time is present in the now. The skateboard, hoverboard. It's very, very big. Right now, if I was to tell you everything, if you do not have a particular portfolio or if you do not have an idea of how to create a portfolio, I'm going to tell you right now, you are 4 years behind. And with you being 4 years behind, you are now going to be in a repeated cycle for the next 7 to 11 years, or up to 7 to 12 years of a repeated cycle before you'll be able to catch up into getting into the next tax bracket. What if I was to tell you that? Which is actually happening. So if people don't know anything about that, guess what? These are people that are literally come next year or since last year, these are people that are literally going to be stuck in a time frame behind. Yeah. The government shutdown is just only it's a behavior mechanism. It's a behavior mechanism. So anytime that they say government shutdown, think about what it was a lot of people talking about at that time. You hear a lot of people, how I'm gonna pay my bills and da 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 da. You will get a lot of people. It's it's a mechanism. It's a science to it. If I can get there, if I can get your brain to shut down in any type of way, shape, or fashion, and then I can put you into a panic state, what do you think I'm more than capable of doing at that time? I can pass any bill. I can pass a law. I can change the Constitution. I can violate certain rights. I can change your medical. I can change your living situation. I can sit there and create whether it's going to be an increase or a decrease. It's a lot of things that at this time that if a lot of people are not fully aware, you can take advantage of it. But those who are aware and you're not in a panic state, then that's a whole different thing. Epstein's files right now is going to bring light to the black market. Okay, there's people right now. You're looking at one of them. I am a human traffic or a sex traffic victim of crimes that on crimes against humanity. You are looking at one person right now. I can't bullshit you at all. Y'all hear me talk about my story, you be like, you don't look like anything you've been through. Thank the Most High. But also, Epstein's things, it leads to a lot of celebrities that a lot of people have admired in a long time, that it would literally cause people to look at people in the craziest way. Like, no way that such and such was like that. Yes way. It was right in front of your face. But Epstein's files incriminates a lot of political people in political power right now. And with a lot of people not understanding what positions that it could jeopardize a lot of people, you will be like, I didn't know that. A lot of people better be prepared for like the shock factor. Because there's some people that could have thought that, that didn't have land, property, or certain relatives were dead or gone, and you'll end up finding out that they were in mental institutes because they told on particular, celebrities and stuff like that, or they told on politicians. And guess what was the easiest way? I told y'all exactly how it goes. When you go to the medical thing, especially if you're a woman and you had children, that's why it's right now so prominent for people when you're creating these fucking kids with the fathers of these children. Either they're gonna come together or not, or systematically they can use those people against you to try to play like they've been playing on, her mental health, she's incompetent, she can't take care of herself, or they utilizing the fact that me tapping into spirituality or dimensional realities, which I don't feel that this is on a spiritual level. This is dimensional realities, which also jumps into physics and quantum physics, also metaphysical things as well. When you jump into those things, guess what? Now they want to play you're in psychosis. They like to play the factor that I have military experience. So with me having military experience, that's even a triple threat on top of that. So with me not only having the experience of knowing how the black market works, how they utilize those people, how the crime world works. Not to mention, I'm a triple threat because I am educated. I didn't get to finish my college degree, but I did have a lot of college credit. But also, I went into the military, right? So with all of those factors playing into place, what is it that I need to do to sit there and cause you to look like you are part of the failure of a certain things that I created? I got to attack your mental health, because if I'm not attacking your mental health, I got to attack your physical health. If I'm not able to do that, I got to attack your home, your finances. I got to get you to be on some type of substance, whether it's alcohol, drinking, drugs, overly sexualized. I need you to be in the adult industry, because when you're in the adult industry, you could utilize those people. Any person willing to just go ahead and do that and not know, like, hey, are you able to create businesses? Are you able to do certain things? To them, their business is them selling their body and laying on their back. They're good at it. They're great at it. That's it. But more often than not, they're able to utilize those type of things and say, well, with me doing that, I'm going to create a different business, but I'm going to solicit other type of services. And with those services, I don't mind setting a person up as long as they're getting the money. So what are those type of people you are able to do with them? They're easily controlled because they only see the money. They only see the money, man or woman alike. If they feel like, oh, I got a big ass fellowship, the porn industry paying me $170,000 a month to do this shit. Guess what? Big Dick Lamont, he gonna be cool with it, but also at the same time, what do you think he's gonna see? Well, shit. Well, if he's willing to do this for this type of money, I wonder if I could get him to set this person up and sleep with them and do this. You see what I'm saying? But not only that, they didn't want to tell them, hey, the outcome of it after you decide that, hey, all the fucking in the world, you get tired because eventually, you can end up, a woman penetrating overly too much that leads to ovarian cancer. That can lead to uterine cancers, fibroids, cysts, right? For a man, eventually it accumulates to prostate issues because you overly using it, and you're also not procreating because the body naturally produce toxins and toxins and serotonins and dopamines in the body when it creates certain things. That's why men, when they have babies and they get women pregnant, they know somebody pregnant. And that's why it's important when men do that, they got to keep it to a minimum so they know exactly who they get pregnant. That's the difference with like certain women. If you're doing it too much, how you going to know if your body is in a pregnant state? So if I get you in that industry, you're not going to pay attention. The only thing you know to do is make sure you check it and make sure you ain't got diseases. That's the only thing you're doing. Your checkups and making sure you ain't got diseases. That's the only thing that you're doing in that industry. But outside of that, are you making sure that, hey, you're not doing anything extra that's going to compromise? But you're not compromising it when it comes to this. But also, they're not thinking about the compromising that, hey, if there's a business level and they want to scale right now and then, you got to know that on all these other business levels, will they want to work with you off the fact that you already said this is what you're first coming into the business with? No. That's why the importance of when they get ready to talk about the kundalinis and things like that, most of the most long running things in history, you get, like, if you think about it, America was built not long ago. So certain things of how America was built and the theories that these people built them on not long ago. That's why shit, if I really had to think about Bill Gates, shit, I think of Harry Potter. So if you have never read any of the, I used to love reading all the J.K. Rowling's books, all the Harry Potter books. Oh my gosh, that was me. The Treehouse Kids, like, those things take factors right now. You have to create those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why when it was like, when they started creating situations where I had to look at it, and thank you, Jamila, where I had to look at those situations where they were literally looking to break me down. Like I said, the worst thing that they could tell me right now is that, hey, my kids died, right? And if I had to sit there and speak on it, on the harsh reality of coming to the acceptance, considering that I've already lost the child, I know the process of what it takes to grieve, right? Also, the steps that I had to take to handle those situations, and I had to handle it by myself. It was like people were there, but nobody was there. So where I needed people on a level, they wasn't there. So what's the worst they're going to tell you? What's guaranteed in America? Death and taxes, okay? Shit, even if you're dead, shit, somebody got to pay those taxes. Someone got to pay for that property. If not, they're going to compensate and figure out how they're going to flip it to get their money from it, right? That's kind of mean, John Doe. Keep doing your thing, stupid, dumb, smart. Wow, that is very disrespectful. But however, like, if you think about it in those contexts, yeah, exactly. God is forgiving. He's going to forgive you for those things. So in those situations, they wanted to bring in, like, oh, this person, you got married and they had a baby on you. This person, you got married and they was into the same sex. Oh, this person stole from you. This person attempted on your life. This person attempted on your kid's life. Okay, the only thing you are really in control of, right, is yourself. And if that situation or those people are not physically in your presence, what are you able to do? If they're in different states, are you able to do anything? No, right? So when you start to think logical, and even though it's an emotional situation, you get into a logical state to see, like, hey, here it is. Now, if we got into the harsh, like crazy, reality, the reality is, okay, well, that means, I love my kid, I miss him, but that's one less bill to worry about, right? One less mouth that I have to feed. And even though it sounds harsh to those people that are in emotions, that you're a parent, you're a mother. I know I am a mother. But also at the same time, look at the world we're living in. Welcome. Look at the world we're living in. That's one less child having to live in this harsh ass world, for one. Two, all the money that I'm struggling with and things like that. I was barely making it, but I was actually making it and still doing good with what little bit I did. However, thank God he don't have to keep going through the hell or the struggle. He don't have to sit here and watch his mom breaking down, getting up, figuring out, working every day, doing my best to make sure I get what little bit of time that I do have to give to them. Now it's just, I don't have to worry about that, right? That's no different than like if there was a way to talk to whether you're a man or a woman in the situation, you love your children. So even when someone takes the kids away, you have to look at that situation. You know what? I love my kid. So the only thing you can do, and especially when these people bring in behaviors like mine, he wants me to pay all his attorney fees, child support, and all this other shit. And I was doing that shit on my own. Didn't even worry about bothering him, filing paperwork, nothing, none of that. I didn't do none of that. Even though I knew he was supposed to pay me, he wasn't paying me. And I did not make it a deal, no nothing. But on his end, he wanted to make it a big deal. He wanted to, and I had zero problem. But guess what? Now I get more time to myself, considering his demands where he wanted the kids 100% of the time. I don't care for the holidays or the birthdays because I was literally robbed of that. So guess what? You can have that. My job is to make sure the child support is paid for. So anything outside of that, making the decisions and stuff like that, according to the paperwork, guess what? That man literally, by law and him not understanding what he did, he released me contractually from any type of responsibility. The only responsibility I'm obligated to is to make sure that I pay that same amount every month. That's it. But the harsh reality of it is, for a person in an emotional state, they're not seeing that type of level. You're an irresponsible parent. You're a deadbeat. You're this. Actually, no, not necessarily. I just know I need to make sure I maintain whatever amount of money I have and build from there. And then if this is what it is, and if I decide to do something extra outside of whatever it is that I'm giving them, I can create that on my own time. But also with the fact that I'm not getting time to be with them, my job is that, hey, hopefully one day they understand whether they choose to or not. Because, if you did your best that you could to raise them with love, they're going to come back and start asking questions like, hey, what happened? Why did you leave us? Hey, baby, I didn't leave you based on the accord, based on this paper and the world that we live in. America told me this is what I had to do and what I had to abide by. And the fact that I was in an emotional and mental state that I didn't like being away from you guys, I felt it was safer for me to just stay away because it was breaking my heart that I could not be with you every day, from when I'm with you every day to I'm not seeing you at all. And now I have to be at a request of a person who was bitter and angry at that time. How do you explain that to them now? But when they get older, you do your job while you're staying away. You're creating what it is that you need to do. Oh, okay. I see you, John Doe. So it's just like certain things, when you start looking at those situations, you're basically able to look at it in a different perspective. Because some people will look at, I don't get to see my kids anymore. Da, 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 da. Shit, I'd rather you go ahead and pay what it is that you're told to pay and cut off communication from that person. And when you do that, guess what? In the meantime, in between time, so you can still show that you thought about them, you still love them. You create trust funds, mutual funds, properties, things like that. Hey, when they're ready to talk, you are preparing yourself in a mental, emotional, psychological, or, even in a place where even if they come to you and they feel like, oh, they only coming to you for money. It's not about that. But even though you already created that, hey, the fact that you are coming to me, I want you to know here, this is for you. So it's not them just coming to you for money versus building a relationship with you to actually get clear clues about what actually happened so they're not running around being disgruntled. So the choice is solely up to them, but also at the same time, you're learning to understand your thing or duty as a parent. Protect, provide, and guide. That's the most you can do because they got their own brain. They're gonna think their own way. They're gonna behave in their own way. So it's just like, regardless of what it is that people take away, they feel like taking away are things that are grounds for them to do certain things to you. However, it's about the perception about how you view that situation is for you to know exactly how far that's going to go. Thank you for also, you got to look at. You know, it's crazy. I mentioned Elon Musk. What did that say? And this is literally how things are coming to play because it's like, how do I explain this? Oh, thank you. Sheree, don't give that prophecy yet. It's too soon because these people are still not prepared for the last piece of prophecy I just gave. How you battle the things with your crown chakra is like when you're fully aware about what's your goals, what's your task, what's your ambitions. Your focus is like, even though you know you're fully aware, if you're a person like me, I have to address it because it's there. But also it's part of, I don't know, I guess it goes along with the diagnosis. I don't fucking know, but it's just like address it so it can get out the way because like you know how certain things get there, or it's like in front of you, and it's like it's like OCD. Something is right there, and until you get it out of the way, it's gonna bother you, right? It's those type of things. You hear something about spontaneity. Spontaneity. I'm saying it wrong. Also, someone needs to be fully aware. Freebies don't build trust funds. A true friend splits the bill even with the billionaire. Frugality and life generosity thereafter. So someone be mindful about, certain people wanting to take advantage of what it is. I'm telling you, the Huffington. So that means there is a report that's being ran on Yahoo. So go look up Yahoo News. I'm almost ready to share your lives with the world. I don't know what that meant, honestly. Also, someone be prepared for a situation from October 17th to the 23rd. Man, I want to be Princess Tiana for like Halloween one year. I've always wanted to be Princess Tiana. Almost there. Almost there. People around here say I'm crazy, but I don't care. Trials and tribulations. I had my share. Oh my god, I just always relate to that damn cartoon. That's my favorite cartoon. I don't care how like I brought the Princess and the Frog for my daughter when she was a little girl, and I'll be the same one sitting there watching it all the time. Ascension vibration refers to the spiritual concept of raising one's personal energy frequency to align with perceived higher state of consciousness, high vibes. Look, good vibes only. Um, J. Paul Getty and Ayn Rand, self-interest has mass appeal. Find like-minded individualists. Those who live in a glass house would not be told what they can and cannot throw. So, like, be mindful about people throwing certain things towards you. Because it's like, think about it. Would you rather have an organization or an incorporation? There's something going on. Somebody likes to use the Karl Marx theory. Somebody could be like German. Angela Merkel. I forgot what she did. Let me tell you. Hold on. The Chancellor. Something that happened in 2005. So that means we're about to run into the issue with U.S. Embassy, immigration, someone else. Something's going on with Greece, Germany, and the bank. Something about a bailout that's about to happen. Somebody could be born in 1954. Capitalist, a philanthropist, economist. Also in the oil industry. Somebody's using the theory of the Communist Manifesto. Heterodoxy. That's the word. I knew I was like not tripping. Let me see. Let me tell you heterodoxy. Heterodox, okay? A differing from an acknowledged standard, holding unorthodox opinions. Oh, okay. So everyone's Javier, president of Argentina. That situation there. The corruption, and then it's causing a crash in the media, getting 20 billion. Yeah, it's the market. For Argentina, it's about the market. But they wanted to do something reputable. So I'm getting something could be redeemed, but it's just like, I'm also hearing a regime. It's heavy with the bank, the stock market, and programming. Mm, something about a Ferrari, JP Morgan, the bank, and the stock, world stage. Somebody did something out west, the West End or West End and the Westland. So there's like 3 to 4 scenarios and situations occurring consecutively right now. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. In Christina Aguilera from Argentina? I want to say Christina Aguilera is Argentinian. Because I'm here. If you want to be with me. That song hit me like really hard. I don't know fucking why, bro. I swear to God, I do not know why. I was like, I'm a genie. And shit, let me let my hair down. Because the way that song hit me, and that was like my favorite song. I swear to God, it was like one of my favorite fucking songs. You gotta rub me the right way. I was like, well, shit, technically, shit, you might as well call me a fucking genie in the bottle. Because, shit, the way fucking people come in my goddamn energy just to be like, can you grant me some wishes? It required me to like you, bitch. I'm the only genie that you will ever fucking acquire where it's like, shit, genie, can I make a wish? No, bitch. It requires me to like you. I'm gonna make sure I curse you. Every time you feel like you fit to make a wish, I'm gonna make it come true, but bitches fit to curse you at the same time. Oh, okay, okay. I thought she was from Argentina. I'm a cheating. But baby, this look, me putting this damn hair behind my ear make me feel like I'm a goddamn elf or some shit. Welcome. Salam Shalaikum. Christina Maria Aguilera. December 18, 1980 in Ocean Breeze, New York at Staten Island University. What got they? I thought she was, from there. Oh guys, thank you guys for all the likes. I didn't even realize how many likes was up there. I wasn't even paying attention. I just seen it was like 15 people in here because I'm usually just be paying attention to the time. Also, somebody be coming in here talking nonsense like, oh my gosh. Behave. This is a group of people that did something in 2024 that's sitting here 2020 and I got 2020 and 2024. Y'all have people just like talking nonsense. Your left ear is just, irritation and your right ear is good communication, okay? Great communication, people saying great things about you. One of these people can work for Google, YouTube. Also, child, I'm getting somebody, it's a cross-dresser. So is this a cross-dresser that is a predator that like them young? Okay, there's a transgender cross-dresser dude that likes young kids that's sitting here talking shit. Like, that's weird. Oh, Ecuadorian. Okay, okay. Well, it don't matter because shit. I'm a genie in a bottle where Ecuadorian is. You gotta rub me the way. I'm bad I still remember the damn choreograph. Yeah, it's somebody that's watching. They could be in the LGBT community. And it's like I'm guessing it's word getting out where people are sitting there like upset about the comments that's being made. Like shit, the truth be told, shit, Beyonce's biggest fucking community is the LGBT community. Like no bullshit. Her hugest following is more gay people than anything. But it's like, I ain't saying there's nothing against it, but it'd be the same fucking people that get involved in certain things and then they get triggered when you're sitting out pointing out certain things. Don't participate in shit, and then you get called out on it, and then you get in your feelings, and then you get upset when certain people are seeing the different perspective of certain situations of a person. Like for me, my communication, and I know for a fact, like I'll be the first one to tell anyone, you're a sensitive, easily triggered person, you have zero business watching me. Because more 9 times out of 10, depending on what it is that you're doing, most likely you're probably more guilty about some shit that you did that you didn't have no business doing in the first place. So those who actually really genuinely sit down and actually enjoy and get information, get intel, get the healing, get the good vibes and energy, or you coming for a good laugh, you coming in to get the truth about a situation, you're not triggered because you're not doing nothing wrong. Like for me, I'm not gonna sit there and like talk about like the hoodoo and voodoo. I don't do that shit. If I'm gonna do that shit, I'm gonna do what is gonna make me feel better. That means protection, cleansing my chakras, healing my soul, making sure I'm praying on my children, making sure that I'm looking forward to tomorrows. That's why I love tomorrows. Glorilla's, quoted by Glorilla. She said it. That's why I love tomorrows. God damn it. And I love fucking tomorrow because tomorrow's gonna come, but it ain't guaranteed. But in this moment, I'm going to be grateful for today that there is tomorrow, because what happened yesterday or what happened a few hours ago, that ain't got shit to do with me. Okay, today I'm looking like a little fucking fairy. Okay, I need to go ahead and go clear off the little bit of places because there's a little bit of makeup getting on it, and I want to make sure that this shit don't get all over the goddamn place. But shit, motherfucker, today I look like a goddamn fairy. Tomorrow I look like the goddamn elf off of goddamn Elder Scrolls or some shit. And today I'm gonna be motherfucking grateful, you little bitches, because ain't nobody tell you do no criminal ass shit, and then you come over here and fucking watch me, and you be like, why you had to say all that? Why you had to go tickle my asshole like that? Because you like it, you little smut. So you'll be okay. Okay? My bad. I digress. Okay? Let me get this out of my face, because we sit here now, we looking like the Dalmatians. I might do blue next. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay? This is synthetic, okay? This is not human. So this bitch is getting naughty. This is way worse than a motherfucking talking about. I got good hair and they got a big ass kitchen of naps in the back of their damn neck, and you still trying to comb it through, and it ain't gonna do shit until you put the heat towards it. Yeah, this ain't working. I'm getting hot, okay? Not hot and bothered. It ain't that type of hot. That damn hot. I'm just saying. Let these motherfuckers sit here just, getting upset. I got RuPaul here. Tailor conventions to suits you. Bespeak volumes. A showstopper never stops. Showing up. Okay? Baby, listen. Listen, Lindas. Listen. Girlfriend. Sit your fucking bogus ass the fuck down, okay? You aspire to have my motherfucking personality for 1. 2, hey, I am a natural woman. You make me feel like bitch, I am a natural woman, okay? I just got off my period the other day, and motherfucking my emotions are still trying to balance this fucking self out. Calm down. Don't come over here with that bullshit. Don't do that. Okay, I already be fucking fighting with goddamn PMS, and you come over here starting that shit. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's sitting there trying to grab her by the pussy, and you don't even give her a fucking flower or a kiss on the cheek. Okay? That's like you didn't smack my booty first before you even did anything. Now you got to do spit engine type shit. Sharita, listen. Welcome to America, okay? Welcome to America. If you come from other countries, welcome to America, and this is how we tend to communicate to the soft and inappropriate. It seems a little bit aggressive. Bitch, I am the least aggressive fucking person you'll ever meet, okay? You'll probably laugh way more than you will probably be like, did she just, you will literally spend your whole day asking yourself, Sharita, why did you, never mind. Your day literally would consist of that. Okay, you will have to reconsider of the reconsideration of the reconsidering before you fucking start doing certain shit. Because you're going to be like, You know what? It just is what it is. That's her. Okay, if I'm letting you be you and you want to wear panties and mini skirts and shit, let me be me, bitch. Okay? Intrusive thoughts be winning most of the time. Okay? Intrusive thoughts win a lot of the time. Okay? I do not do my greatest of the best because sometimes that shit fucking win. Okay? They win. I don't care. You're doing all. I'm not driving. Motherfucker, I ain't meant to be in the passenger seat and taking me a nap. I like to sleep in the car. Or I like to sightsee too. Sometimes I like to drive, but I ain't got no business because shit. You say the wrong thing and I get pissed off, then I go turn into go speed racer type shit. I turn into speed racer because I'm pissed off and I'm trying to think of some shit. And then it's like, that shit don't work. Okay? I like to twiddle my toes and I like to kick my feet up on the man and rub my feet while you driving. You gonna rub my foot while you driving. And I don't want to hear shit about it. Okay? Like, so while he's driving, he gotta rub my foot. I like my foot rubbed. Okay? Shit, you better ask. I am spoiled. I spoil myself. I am spoiled. I get what I want. I am spoiled and I get what I want. I get what I want. And when I don't get what I want, that means that it's not what I needed. So that's why I don't get upset about certain things. I'll cry in a moment, like I said. I have to be careful to make sure that nobody paid for what the last person did because it's like, I still struggle. I was like, it was for fake. I was crying. I cried 3 weeks ago about that. I was just like, he hurt my feelings. You stupid little bitch. And I was like, I want to fight him. And then it was just like, sure, it was for fake. And I was like, I know. Like, until you have to have that kind of like fucking conversation with yourself, life ain't fucking lifing, okay? Oh man, I did it for the unworthy. Look, I am worthy. I am a little brat, man. I'm a sweetheart, but I'm just a little brat. I get lost in my own world a lot. If you don't mind with the quiet moments, then you good. Okay, so we got some people that realize, because I know anybody that steal from me and like hurt me, like the karma is really, really bad. That's why I be telling people, just apologize. Don't come apologizing though. Apologize. Because when you keep doing wrong and then you realize like, did you do this? No, you went to go listen to Stupid, didn't you? You went to go listen to Dumb and Dumber, didn't you? Right, yeah, you went to listen to Dumb and Dumber. That's what the fuck you get. Well, now my dog got ran over. The fuck you want me to do? Cry, you little prick? All you had to do was just say what you did. I would have helped you. See, that's where I know that my patience, I got really far. Cause it's like I get bright ideas just like you. But then, does that make, okay, I got a question. Does it make you just as crazy as the person that do the crazy shit to you? That you sit back and allow the person to do the shit when you know that they was gonna do it? Anyway, does that make you crazy? They blocking mine where I don't get monetized. But it's okay. But does that make me crazy? I'm asking y'all because I'm just a little curious. Because I don't want to give myself the answer. Because the answers I'll be giving myself, it'll be like, woo, woo. Like, we be in Alice in Wonderland at that point. That makes me more crazy? Or does that make them crazy? Or like fucked up for even trying it? I'm confused. Also, okay, so that makes me a little bit more crazy because I allowed the bullshit, but also, okay, I get you, Rainbow Dragon, I get you. That makes sense. That makes sense. You didn't feed it to my Delulu. It makes them stupid. I just want to make sure that I wasn't feeding the delusion. I was just like, shit, does that make me crazy, then, motherfucker? Because it's like, shit, you gotta be stupid as fuck, but you also gotta be crazy as hell to even try that shit. Because I got way better, brighter ideas. And the fact that I could calculate and predict exactly what the fucking bullshit you was gonna do, and then I sat there and waited to watch you do the shit. Now that's just concerning. They do that shit to me and I forgive them, but I don't forget, and then they don't get to keep doing it. Well, I mean, necessarily, I'm just a loving person. Turn the other cheek. But also, I also am a firm believer. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. But they also ain't say you can't injure the fuck out of them. So we can know where it is. And the injury could be mental, psychological, emotional, financial. Yeah, I mean, if you choose physical, but with the pecker here is saying, I'm gonna hum myself through this. But I love, you know what I'm saying? I got such a loving heart, and it's just like, I don't like the fact that I'm bubbly. I don't like it. I don't like it. Because I'm going to be insulted and be like, I forgive you. You want a hug? And it's just like, it's bad. It's bad. That's why I want to stick to myself, because it's just like, I'll be a person like, you'll do something really fucking bad and I'll be like, come here. And it's like, and I see why people be like, she's so gullible. And then it's like, she's so forgiving, because I'll be like, come here. And I'll still want to give you a hug, and I'll still want to kiss you and the things like that. Like, man or woman, not on no homo stuff, but it's just be like, come here, we get a hug. But then I can also be an asshole too. So it's one of those, it's a contradiction. Can't help it. Can't help it. No. I've always stand in truth, but still I'm a softie too. I stand in truth, but I'm a softie too. I gotta honor that. But when it's wrong, when it's really, really bad, I won't go back. I don't ever go looking for it. It's not us doing it. Karma is from what you put out comes back. That's true. Very true. As above, so below. What you have within will show without. And I show a lot of love. That's how I'll be like, God, why is it that you give me so much love? It's like not cool. But also it's like at the same time, it's just like, I see the beauty in it, because I used to feel like it was a bad thing. But now I just see like all the good in it. And that's why it's just like, I get super excited. Like I have my highs, I have my lows. But either way it goes, it's just like, only God knows. But also with him knowing my heart, he know my mind. And so it's just like, I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative for all those moments. That's what makes me happy. Bloomberg. I'm telling you, the moment I crack the code to Bloomberg, I don't give a shit about nothing else. All right, guys. It's time for me a snack break. You humanoids, I had to be back here shortly. Okay, you guys be beautiful. Don't party too hard. I will be back also, as promised. I was going to go look into something. As I promised, me prometo a buscar en algo que cosa de gánale dinero or ayúdale en su mente, su financials, and all that other good stuff. So I'll talk to you guys here shortly.